Yet another Christian-owned bakery has joined the fracas and made the news by refusing to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding. Ben Valencia and Luis Marmolejo were regular customers of Kern's Bakery in Longview, Texas, where they had frequently bought cakes in the past, and all was well as they ordered the cake in question until they announced that it was intended for use in their own wedding. It was at that point when bakery co-owner Eddie Delorme declared that the store had a policy prohibiting it from making a cake for a, quote, homosexual marriage. Valencia, who says he felt humiliated, seems to have been less upset over the fact of the policy and more by the fact that he was blindsided by it. Says Valencia, obviously we don't have laws that protect against that sort of discrimination in Texas, so you really can't sue the lady, but I just think people should know that that happened. Businesses have the right to refuse service, but if she's going to be like that, why doesn't she just put a sign that says, "We don't make homosexual cakes"? Delorme defended her store's policy with the tortured analogy that in her view, it would be fine for a gay baker to refuse to make a cake for a straight couple on moral grounds, and noted that her bakery also refused to make risque cakes or cakes celebrating alcohol or tobacco use. But all's well that ends well for the Valencia Marmolejo nuptials, as another baker stepped in and offered to make the couple a cake for free. Manifestly unfit to be President of the United States, according to Princeton University's Professor Robert George during the opening salvos of a Catholic foray into the 2016 American election cycle. George is part of a group of 50 conservative Catholic activists and politicians uniting against billionaire candidate Donald Trump. The New York real estate magnate may be unfit for public office, but for Robert George and many other Catholics, their preferred choice is not Catholic at all, preferring instead Southern Baptist Ted Cruz. There is a false meme circulating that Cruz insisted that there would be no place for gays or atheists in his America, but the Canadian-born Baptist does have a long track record of opposition to reproductive and marriage rights for anyone not fitting the mold of his Christian theocracy narrative. This shift in endorsement follows the departure of Senator Marco Rubio from the race, following a defeat at the hands of Donald Trump in his own state of Florida. There are constitutional and clerical restrictions on open political campaigning by priests, yet the stakes are sufficient to stimulate Catholic clergy to push their limits in support of a Protestant. Cruz's father, the Christian dominionist Rafael Cruz, compares his son to the biblical King Josiah, who vowed to banish idolatry and restore exclusive worship of the God of Israel. Yet Robert George assures us that Cruz will foster a culture that honors the Constitution and religious freedom. In a surprising move toward religious tolerance, Pakistan has issued a ruling permitting the recognition of public holidays beyond Islamic ones. Dr. Ramesh Kumar Vankwani of the Pakistani National Assembly presented a motion to recognize Diwali, Holi, and Easter. This is evidently intended as an anti-discrimination move, and while Pakistan's Minister of Information, Pervez Rashid, has said that the government has no objection to the religious festivals of minorities, now there is formal recognition of the shared humanity of Pakistan's various faith communities. Rashid has stated that people share their grief and happiness regardless of their religion. Specifically, Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights, arguably the most important of the year. Holi has an ancient origin, also celebrated in India as well as Nepal, known as the Festival of Colors. These, in addition to the Christian Easter celebration of the resurrection of Christ, are now recognized in Pakistan. This is the same Pakistan where a vigilante mob beat to death a Christian couple and burnt their bodies in a brick kiln at their workplace. It remains to be seen whether this parliamentary move genuinely represents a new zeitgeist of religious tolerance.